What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Pacos de Ferreira 0 in the Europa Conference League playoff second leg as Tottenham are safely through to the group stages of the Conference League. Oh, the glamour. But look, it was a good performance today. It really was. If you compare it to last week, completely night and day. I thought it was good performances all over the pitch today. Starting from the back from Christian Romero, I thought you really saw what he was about today compared to last week. I thought he got to grips with the team. I was a bit disappointed with Matt Doherty on the right hand side today. I didn't think he added anything positively today, but another player who I kind of beat down a lot in Harry Winks, I thought he put in a really positive display. Had a big hand in the goal, a lot of forward passes today. He was putting himself about and making himself known, but I think today really belonged to three players, and it really belonged to Giovanni Lo Celso, Bryan Gil and Harry Kane. I thought those three were definitely our best three players today. Lo Celso was running things from the middle of the park, Bryan Gil with his tricky feet and getting it past players, unlucky not to get a goal, and Harry Kane back in the Tottenham side and scoring 2 goals in his return, and he even got a little bit of a rest at the end of the game. So look, all in all, very happy with the performance today. Yes, it was against a very average Pacos Ferreira side, but you can only beat what's put in right front of you. And we move on to Watford on the weekend. John?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly how you said. You summed it up. There's nothing left for me to say. I just want to say, Hill, I love that guy, man. I mean, he looks like star quality to me. He really does. Every time he's really hungry. He's looking for little pockets. He's looking for the overlaps. He's really bright on the ball. He's always looking to play the incisive, positive pass. For me, we've got a real player on our hands. We've got a real gem on our hands there with Hill. I thought he was excellent. He was, for me, man of the match up until he came off. But then I think over the stretch of the 90 minutes, I think you've probably got to give it to Lo Celso. I think he was involved in everything today. You know, most of the plays went through him today. So I thought he was excellent. I think he was probably man of the match. And of course, Harry got 2 goals. So, you know, he did his job really well. Overall, they weren't that, as you said, they weren't that great. You know, it's a difficult benchmark to judge it on that game because it's not that great. But there's a lot of strong performances. I thought the only poor performances were Doherty and maybe Sessegnon. The rest played absolutely superb. Even Winks, you know, because he got a lot of time on the ball. He was playing a lot of good passes in there. I thought he was solid as well. So overall, you've got to be happy with that, haven't you, Sim?
Yeah, and I think it's important on Kane's return. He felt at home straight away. There wasn't any sort of period where maybe, you know, he has a few off games and people were still questioning, oh, does he want to be here? Is, you know, he tried to push for the move of the summer. Is his heart in it? And all those kind of questions. And it's good, very good to put that to bed pretty immediately. And he had that chance within 20 seconds, didn't he? Which really showed the complete difference to what kind of performances was going to be compared to last week, which was very, very important. I'm just happy with the, you know, compared to the City and Wolves games which we were playing, where we weren't able to really get our foot on the ball, play our football, and even the game last week against Pacos, the away game, we didn't play any sort of possession football where we were creating chances. Today was the first time really, pretty much under Nuno, we were able to dominate the possession, force Pacos back, and actually play some really good attacking patterns of play in footballs in and around the penalty area. That was really positive. You always saw Gil and Lo Celso always on the half turn looking the other way, looking for passes into the penalty area, looking for runs in behind. The movement from Gil was brilliant. I thought the creativity from Lo Celso, especially in the second half, I felt was very impressive. And look, yeah, Harry Kane with 2 clinical finishes. What more can you say? Safely through into the group stages. I know it's not the most glamorous competition, but we're there now, and I think it was a good turnaround. We made light work of it, and it's important benchmark for Sunday. Hopefully against Watford we can make it 3 out of 3, because it's important. I think Harry Kane is getting back into the swing of things as quickly as possible. And I think today what I was happy about, as opposed to last week, was everyone seemed to be fighting for their place. The fringe players who came in seemed to want to grab that position and say, look, I want to be in the team on Sunday. I don't want to be kind of in the squad and just making up the numbers. I want to be in the team, and that's what the difference from last week was, and that was very good.
Yeah, and you can really tell, like, the few players that came in proper made a difference today in terms, you know, players like Harry Kane, Giovanni Lo Celso, much improved performance from last week. Harry Winks, much improved performance from last week. And, you know, it can kind of like, these games, we've seen it many a time in these games. You know, last year when you cast your mind back to your early knockings of the Europa League, under Pochettino in the early rounds of the Europa League, you know, it can be very easy to misjudge these games and just completely take your eye off the ball. Mourinho even said about some players last year, you know, they think they're too good to be in those kind of games. Well, I don't think that was the case today, and I think everyone put in a shift. The attitude was commendable today, and yeah, really good performance, I think. Any closing words, John?
It was almost played like a FA Cup game, to be honest with you. That's what it looked like. Everyone really wanted it. It was like quite fast paced, you know, quicker paced than I thought it'd be as well. And like you say, every player really wanted it. They're really hungry. Like they're looking to earn their, you know, place in the first team for the Premiership, you know. So I was very, very happy with what I saw today. Admittedly, it's hard to tell. It's hard to judge, isn't it? Because, you know, they weren't that great, but you can only beat what's put in front of you, can't you?
Yeah, and you feel like, I agree with you on Session. I feel like he does have to do a bit more when he's given these opportunities, especially when he's given the opportunity to play left wing without as much defensive maybe responsibility as he did maybe when he was playing wing back last week, and he still didn't quite hurt Pacos as much as you'd have liked. Unfortunately, he didn't get too many crosses in or shots off on goal and stuff like that. So that's a bit of a disappointment. But I'm sure hopefully when the longer the season goes on, he grows into the season and starts making more of an impact. In terms of Brian Hill, what was interesting is last week against Pacos, played on the side on the left. Second half, he played on the right, and then Nuno was saying at the end of the game, we changed his position a couple of times. We're still finding his best position. Today, he was kind of given a free role, was able to drift left, drift right, play, and predominantly play centrally. Have we found his role? Do you think?
I think that last week he kind of vanished out of the game after 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. Today he was in the game for 90 minutes or however long he was on the pitch for. He was always impacting that game. So I think maybe so. I think you might be right there. Yeah,
could potentially. And the little passes he was playing in, the fact that he was allowed to drift on both wings as well. And we saw how good he can be on the wing when he's given space. And maybe he'll be harder to mark on the wing if he's given a free role as opposed to when he's a left winger where he has someone like pretty much always kind of given the role of marking him. Basically, we're always going to have a fullback marking him. When he's given the free role, it's harder to track him, isn't it, when he's drifting over to the wing? So
do you think he is given a free role, or do you think that was just what kind of transpired in that game?
I think he was given a free role today from Nuno, because Nuno very clearly said it at the end of last game that we need to find the right position for him.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it worked, because I think, you know, someone like him was like completely playing on instinct. He's, you know, spontaneous in his movements. I think it really worked. He was looking for the pockets, whether that was being drifted out to the right, coming out to the left, through the centre, and that was why he was so influential throughout the whole game until he came off. I thought he was brilliant, you know. So if that's the signs of what's to come, you know, I would say that play to his strengths, let him use his intuition more, and I think you're going to see the best out of what's his name?
Yeah. So look, obviously it's hard to judge really on the opposition, but we can only report on what we're seeing, and it was positive stuff at least.
Yeah, definitely. Slightly worried, well, very worried about the right back position because Doherty was so poor today. Probably the worst player on the pitch for us, in my opinion. And with Aurier seeming out the door, Tanganga looks like our only viable right back option at the moment. Yeah, which is worrying.
It is worrying, and we know we're going to. Hopefully, we're still going to get this Tomiyasu over the line. That's what I'm hoping for. But Doherty at the moment doesn't do enough of what he's supposed to be good at. He's brought as one of the most attacking, creative right backs in the Premier League.
Don't.
He was, right?
I know, but it's like when you say it like that, it's shocking.
I know, that's who was brought, and he's just not good at that whatsoever, is he?
Poor man's Alan Hutton.
Like when he's doing exchanges with whoever's on the right with Lucas or whatever, he just doesn't seem up to pace. When he's asked to do quick passing, he always kind of takes an age to get a pass off and things like that. When he's kind of running in behind, he doesn't kind of get away from the.
This is against Pacos, by the way, where Harry Winks had a really good game.
So, you know, Doherty's got I think he is. Look, I don't think Doherty's going this summer. He's staying around. So, unfortunately, he's got to shape up.
I think they've given man of the match to Winks.
Have they?
But well, I don't know. By the looks of it, yeah.
Well, he's the one. Well, look, Winks did have a good game.
He did have a good game today.
I don't know. They were just interviewing him there.
I wouldn't give him man of the match, but he did have a good positive game.
I think he had a good game. I think Lo Celso had a good game, and obviously Hill and Kane got the 2 goals. So they were the standout performers, weren't they?
They were.
So yeah, I mean, the mojo's back for the weekend, isn't it?
Exactly.
The feel-good factor, as Nuno would say, it's come back. So.
All right, so let's move on to Watford at home this weekend for our 3rd Premier League game. Tottenham are safely through to the Conference League group stages. Thank you everyone for joining us. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.